Ranked correctly is a bigger deal for Ole Miss than being ranked high. That's a rival. That is not a consolation prize. I'm Stephen Willis, and this is Locked On Ole Miss Hits, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today, the Rebels open up ninth, and I think that is exactly right. And then what later? We'll talk about CBS Sports saying that Ole Miss could take a step back without Lane Kiffin. So the Associated Press released their preseason poll. It came out Monday, Ole Miss number 9, and I'm not playing the disrespect card because there's not one to play on this. So start with the resume. 13-2, a playoff semifinal, third in the final AP poll last season. Now the question, Pete Golding has coached 3 games as head coach, exactly 3 games. Now he won 2 of them, and both of them came in the playoffs, and both of them are better than any playoff win or any win that Lane Kiffin got. But that's more than a lot of coach manage in their career, but 3 games is just 3 games. New offensive coordinator, John David Baker. On top of that, the voters weighed both and landed on 9. So here's why that matters more than a number. Ole Miss has historically been one of 2 things: wildly overhyped in August or just completely ignored. This is a program now that people argue about, but nobody's arguing because the ranking is in the right spot. And it's not just the poll, by the way. Brett Ciancia of Pick Six Previews, who researches all 68 Power 4 teams himself, 15th season doing it, he had Ole Miss 10th nationally and 4th in the SEC. 2 completely separate processes, 1 spot apart. Put ESPN's draft talent tiers next to it, where they rank the Rebels on the same tier as Ohio State and Georgia, and you have 3 different methods landing in about the same spot. That's not a favor, that's a description. And now the honest counterweight, because that's what we do on this show. 9 is fair to Pete Golding because he hasn't proven anything across the full season at this point. And fair is not the same as flattering. Here's what would make me wrong. If the offense stalls in Nashville, the correctly ranked argument evaporates instantly and it becomes the same old August argument that we've had so many times before. So that's take 1. Take 2 is one that's going to get me some arguments. John Talty wrote at CBSSports.com on Monday that it's understandable to think that Ole Miss takes a step back without Lane Kiffin and Charlie Weis Jr. Then that's not necessarily a dumb sentence. When you lose a head coach and a play caller, it's natural that a team might fall off just a little bit. But the argument treats the coordinator hire as a downgrade. There's no way you could hire somebody better for that spot. And that just is weird. I don't think anybody has taken into account and actually looked at the resume of John David Baker. This is his 4th year at Ole Miss. He was the passing game coordinator in 2021 under Matt Corral and Jeff Lebby. And he was the co-offensive coordinator in 2022 and 2023. And 2021, his offense led the Southeastern Conference in total offense. He had 2 years as the coordinator, co-coordinator here. And then he went to East Carolina, where he inherited an offense that was at the bottom of America and had it inside the top 25 twice. Then stacked a second one. That is Brett Ciancia saying that of Pick Six Previews, not me. And Baker's on record with On 3 saying he is keeping his offense about 80% the same, tempo included. So the premise of a step back argument is that the scheme leaves. The scheme didn't leave. Now, the honest counterweight to all of this that you actually need to look at for a potential step back, and this one's kind of strong if you think about it. Baker's never called a play inside the Southeastern Conference. Not one snap. Different speed, different defensive coordinators, different Saturdays. That's the best thing the step back crowd has going for them, and I'm not waving that off. But here's what would make me wrong. If the interior of that offensive line cannot hold up on early downs, the scheme argument does not matter because you can't run tempo from 2nd and 11, although Lane Kiffin's tried. So you will know by the second quarter in Nashville in just 19 or so days. Tell me in the comments whether this offense is going to be better or worse. So back with another one tonight. Follow Ole Miss Hits on all platforms. And if you want 25 minutes on this team instead of 5, well, that's where Locked On Ole Miss can help you out. We'll talk to you later. Hotty toddy.